Greetings viewers, if you click the video link, you're here to listen to me talk about the AKRYPT Chest light. As you can see, there are two of them in front of you. The review, I guess, is really only going to revolve around one, but since I have the other one, I'll kind of give you the backstory and how we ended up where we are. So originally, they only had a couple of variations on their website available. This particular one here is the original one that I got. This is the LEO chest light, which is now on their website referred to as their version 1, which is also discontinued. So I ended up ordering this light. It took quite some time to get here from Australia. I had to get through customs and all that. So by the time it finally got here, I unpackaged it. I did a unboxing video, which there's no point in even showing that. It comes in a bubble mailer with a small USB-C cable, and it came with the little rubber things that you use to mount the older version. And that was it. And so I took it out of the package, I charged it up, and started using it. And the very first thing I noticed, so I'll cycle through the modes here. Again, this is just the original LEO version. So it's got a white light, another white light, strobing red and blue lights, more white, more white. And the very first thing that went through my head was, why is there not some other subdued color like red for the night shift guys to use and not blind themselves using the light? So I went on the website, tried to find an email address. I was just going to immediately tell them, hey, these are some of my thoughts and opinions on the light after having just received it. So before I could even find an email address, I am greeted with a notification that a version 2 is out, and lo and behold, it contains a solid red light. So while doing all that, I came across the Mill version 2 light, which is this one right here. It has a different mounting option. It is a little bit thicker and bigger. And so I have this one, which has a solid red mode, solid green, and then 2 white settings on it. So that's definitely a little bit more useful, basically. But again, since I have this one, I'll go ahead and talk about it. They're both very similar. They're extremely light. That was the first thing I noticed taking them out of the package. The design did not change much between version 1 and 2, other than the mounting option. The clip on the first one, again, which is discontinued, is just a straight piece of plastic that's kind of flexible. And what it was designed for is you put it on a strip of molly gear, and then this looped over the light. You kind of hook it this way, stretch it over the front, and then it just kind of went around the back here and then provided back pressure to keep that clip from letting go and this thing falling off. So they definitely made some changes on that. And they went with a little bit stronger alligator clip here. I'm not sure what the little ridges and lines in there are for. I don't know if that's supposed to do anything in specific, but I haven't noticed that it makes any more difference other than reaching the body of the light and give you some more clamping force to hold on to stuff. But they only have a single button on them. Let's go ahead and throw them on the scale real quick. All right, so we'll throw the discontinued LEO light on there. And we are looking at 0.7 ounces. So the Generation 2 Mill light is 1 ounce even. So again, these things are pretty darn light. Like I said, they didn't really come with anything in the packaging. This one, the Gen 2 Mill light, came with the USB-C cable. There's no instructions, there's no nothing. It's pretty obvious. Again, there's one button. This thing has no memory function. There's no programming available. There's no nothing special. You just cycle through all the modes. Every time you turn this thing on, it's always going to start with red, go to green. Nothing changes. You just keep pressing the button and keep cycling. There's nothing special or fancy. You don't hold it. There's no lockout feature. There's no nothing. So again, as simple as it can possibly be. It does have a little rubber flappy door here again that goes with our USB-C cable to charge it. While the light is charging, you'll get a little bit of a red glow coming out from the center, and when it's done, you will get a green glow letting you know that it's finished. As far as runtime on these things, so I have been I've used both of them for several weeks in a row on one charge, using it anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes every single day. And I still have not charged it yet, so it definitely gets a little bit of use out of it. Again, that's just limited use for me. Daylight savings time hit, and now when I get home, it's pretty dark out, so I kind of use it to get in and out of the car, bring all my stuff inside, and get the dog settled. So again, been using it 5-10 minutes every single day, and it's been several weeks, so definitely happy with the runtime. It'll probably die when I need it the most, but anyway. So what exactly is this light for? Like, who's going to use this? Why do you need it? I mean, we see these fancy ads on Instagram. That's where I saw it. I looked it up and there was absolutely zero reviews or any information other than what was provided on the website, which is very limited, especially the fact that, like, for example, there's no lumens listed on there. It says it's waterproof, but it has no rating listed like IPX7 or anything. So we are going to end up testing that out, see if it is actually waterproof at all. Again, what do you need this light for? Why would you buy this? Either one of these versions, whether it's the generation, well, since this one's discontinued, we'll just pretend it's a Generation 2 LEO light. So this is not a search and rescue light. This is not a tactical light that I would go clear buildings with and hunt down terrorists. This is more of a navigating light, unit identification, and for administrative stuff. So for example, if you're doing land nav at night or you're filling out a report in your car and you just need a small light that's easily accessible. Again, it's a chest light, so worn somewhere in that region. Makes it a little bit easier. This is not a far-reaching 1,000 lumen light that you, again, are going to go on a search and rescue mission in the woods or hunt down bad guys with. That's not the purpose of these lights. Again, I feel like the appropriate term would be it's more of an administrative purposes. Joggers. The throw on these lights is not, again, such that you are going to be searching a long distance, but it is good for navigating, whether you're using the red, green, or white settings on it for kind of up close. You're walking on a trail somewhere, it gets a little bit darker sooner than you thought, you can kick this thing on, or if you're jogging at night, it lights up enough of an area so you can see and around you, but not way ahead. So just basic navigation as far as actually putting it on your gear or using it. So like I mentioned, it does fit. This is just Molly webbing on a 511 backpack. It just slides right in, clamps on, and it doesn't have any issues. It doesn't wiggle. It holds on tight enough. Also another, so this doesn't do you any good looking behind you unless, again, it's some sort of unit identification. You can kick it over to the red or green setting and you're on a march and you kind of keep track of everybody in the dark. Or you have a camelback, a backpack, something that has molly strips or just a horizontal strap that you can throw it on so that while you're walking, you have this light available to kick on as you need. You're going to take your dogs out for a walk in the middle of the night or whatever. It's, again, very light. You're not even going to notice that it's there. If it wasn't clipped onto my chest every day, then I probably would forget it or forget that I even had it because, again, it's so light. It's not big and bulky and sticking out of pockets or anything. You just throw it on your gear and it's easy to forget about. So in terms of the LEO light, whether it's version 1, version 2, so again, the white light, great. The strobing function on here, there's very limited applications that I think this would be useful. If you want to do it as a gag while you're in a foot pursuit, great idea. Somebody can't say they didn't know who was chasing them. Again, maybe you're on a perimeter position and it's a unit identification, you're out of your vehicle on foot. Everybody else can kind of see you. The guy that you're trying to contain within the perimeter knows that there's law enforcement available. Not very practical. Again, very limited situation where that's applicable. So again, the white light's great. If you work night shift, white light is not great. Red light is your friend at night. It does not hurt your night vision. So I'm a big fan of red lights. I have them in my house too at night. So I'm walking around so I'm not blinding myself before bed, getting my brain all amped up, seeing bright lights. The green setting on here is, I don't want to say significantly, but a little bit brighter than red. But this is also not bad for your night vision. Green, for those of you who may not know, is also good for tracking blood for any hunters out there. Maybe not using this particular light, but just a green light in general would be good for that. This does, again, have a very limited range, so you're not going to be scouring the woods with it. But the red and green color on here, again, helps with your night vision. You're doing land nav, you're having to read maps, and you don't want to give away your position to the entire surrounding area, and you just want to keep the light contained a little bit. The red and green settings are great for that. You're sitting in your car writing a report or writing a traffic ticket on the side of the road at night, and you don't want to blind yourself, passing cars, the people you're dealing with. That's a good option. I like that it also starts with those settings so you can kick right into them, and you're not blinding yourself and then cycling down to the lower brightness settings, so you can always just throw your hand over it when you switch over to the white settings if that's going to be an issue. So let's go ahead and I'm going to use the same setup that I did for the flashlights that I reviewed as far as looking at what these lights actually look like inside, going from a completely dark room. So we'll take a look at both of these lights since, again, I have them available. All right, so again, I have no idea. They do not provide any information, whether it's with the lights or on the website. I cannot find anything anywhere that lists what the lumen ratings would be for each of the lighting settings. I had to do the best I could with the camera to give you a little bit of a demonstration on how bright each of the lights are and each of the settings. So this light is not a super duper high speed, tactical, blind all the bad guys in the vicinity light. This is just for your usage in your immediate personal bubble. My biggest concern, question, thought is, are these actually waterproof? So I'm going to go ahead and do a little test with the LEO version 1. So since I'm not using that one anymore, if it does break, I've lost 20 something bucks on that, but at least we know, since again, I have not seen any other reviews anywhere out there. All right, so if this is going to be carried on any sort of duty gear or outside EDC stuff, you put it in your pack or on your gear, again, you're using it, you're on a march somewhere, you're directing traffic out in the rain, whatever the case may be, we want to know that the equipment's going to work. If it says it's waterproof, it should be waterproof. So we might as well test it and find out if that is true or not. So again, it does have one of these little flappy rubber doors. I am not a fan of those, but we're going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a fair shake and just make sure that that is pushed in all the way. There's not much else I can do with this. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the red and blue strobing setting, and we're just going to go ahead and drop it in the water and see what happens. We got some bubbles coming out of it, but it's completely submerged in the water, as you can see, and it is still lighting up, so that's a good thing. Now, I don't know how deep it's going to go, and clearly this cup isn't deep enough to test IPX7 or any other said rating level, so that is that does make me happy, at least, that it is completely submerged. So it falls off and lands in a puddle, or again, you're standing out in the rain, you get poured on during a march or a traffic stop or a traffic crash, it's going to continue to work. So that makes me feel a little bit better. Let's go ahead and pull this thing out of here and turn it off and put it on the towel. All the other functions still work. So we're going to go ahead and let that dry off. All right, so not much to say about these. They are small, they are light, they are actually waterproof, so that's cool. They have a limited amount of settings, a limited amount of brightness, but they have their place. Again, not a combat tactical flashlight, just administrative and navigation light as far as I'm concerned. They do have different pricing structures on their website if you buy more than one. So if you and a couple buddies are interested in getting some, the more you buy, they get a little bit cheaper as you go. So something to keep in mind. They seem to be a decent company that's continuing to make other stuff. So even since these lights have come out, I've seen a couple more things pop up on their website. So I am interested in seeing what they have going forward. So anyway, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Hopefully you found something useful in this video. If there's anything that I missed, a question I didn't answer, something you'd like me to review further or do other testing with these lights, please feel free to let me know down below and I'll be glad to do so. But with that, I'm going to call the video here. So thanks for watching and have a great day.